All right. Hope everybody can hear me. Um, we're gonna. All right. We're gonna play this first. Kind of got a lot about what we're gonna talk about real quick tonight. A lot of the people who kept up while we were out knew we was gonna play the song. And they know why. And we got to see. There you go, bro. Pablo, Judy, Charles. See some trackers on here. All right, I just wanted to play that. That song came to mean quite a bit while we were out. You just don't know how good of friends you got, really, until you really have to do something. And this all started, this whole thing that we was gone for a little over 2 months, going on 3, was out in the field helping a lot of people. We stayed at a lot of different places. We was on a mission. We still can't talk about that one. It's not finished, but we did have to come back early because of a possible water break. We still have to check into the water department tomorrow because there's no water leak here, but our bill doubled. And like everybody knows, and the water company should have knew that no water usage was used, so that caused us to think it was a water break. So instead of wanting to come back to 4 foot of water in the house, we made the call to come back because we knew that if it broke, that we're going to have a lot of work to do cleaning this up. So, but luckily, there's been no water break. But we're still on that same mission. We always will be until it's completed. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about us. When it's time, it's time. But I also want to let everybody know TrackerE is good and healthy and everything. We're just back. We're doing a lot of cleaning. We're doing our scouting, the same thing that we do wherever we go. But hopefully she'll say hi real fast just to let you know that. And we just got a lot of things to do. We're just trying to get our propane on. You know, we've been gone. Before winter, once we got that call, Everybody who knows us, that next day we were gone. We was loaded up. We're always ready to go. We got our grab bags. We know what we need. So it only takes us a little while to get loaded up. And like I said, once we got that call, um, actually it was the next morning when we got a certain call from another tracker. They needed some assistance and some advice. They told us what went on and where they were, and we told them, we don't have the funds right now to get there, and so we gave suggestions on what needs to be done until we could possibly get there. And but like everything happened. It was probably just a couple of hours. We made some phone calls. We talked with some friends. We called in some, I would say, favors, I guess. We did some things for other people to help them with some very important issues that they had also. And we just said, we just need some gas money, we got to go help. And it was just that evening, that afternoon, there it was. And we made the call and we said, hey, we got the gas, we got the funds, we're on our way, but give us, this certain amount of time. And the other trackers, they knew we was on the way. And that's what started our 2.5 month out in the field, where we couldn't really talk with the regular people here. We had to limit our information that we were giving out. We did have a couple of problems with that. There was a lot of friends here also, and I just have to say this as a supporter. People who have sent us $25 a month or extra money like that. And some friends have sent $10, and this always just been what we needed for gas or to get to another place. But I do want to thank all the sponsors who helped us, and also that those sponsors, they got to keep up, and we gave them updates on what we was doing, where we was at, when we could. So just because the majority of the people, all they knew is that we were gone in the field, or we just went black, and there was a lot of rumors going on. We did hear some rumors like that, which were all false. But everybody knows this, so everybody knows that those rumors were false. But our supporters, we gave them updates daily if we could. Sometimes we call and talk with them to just assure them that we're okay. We know what we're doing when we're out in the field. We're probably some of the only people who do, except for the people that we've had the opportunity and chance to actually get to spend time with you, or if you've been watching this channel, or if you've got the Bigfoot documentary that is Blu-ray. We still do produce a couple of those, or have produced, I think, 10 now. So if you haven't got them, you do need to get them. That DVD has saved lives already. It's helped a lot of people. We actually got to, before we got the water potential break information, that we got to actually be with the family and do like hands-on of what we're talking about in the DVD. Things we look for, how we track, what we listen for, how we get those blinds out of the area, how we expose them, how we let them make the mistakes so that we can capitalize on everything. And those are the training things. And we also want to express that even though we were off for 2.5, we weren't, I'm just off of the channel, off the YouTube and Facebook and all that, because of the things that come with what we do. You have to do that from time to time. We do apologize to a lot of people, but we do want you also to remember that is for our safety. And whenever it's a constant on the Messenger, and we had to limit that and stop that, and Facebook, and There's so many people wanting to get in contact with us just to make sure it was okay, but we're the experts. There's a lot of experts out there now. So we know what we're doing. We're not going in this guessing. The people that we had to not give as much information to, because a lot of people just want to know if it's okay. But that also starts off with a whole bunch more messaging, more tinging on the cell towers and things like that we was trying to avoid as much as possible. A lot of people know that we didn't even have our phones on most of the time, or we'd have them secured somewhere. And those were our safest times, but a lot of times we were getting pinged. People just had to have information, or you know.
Safety of those were real.
And yeah, of course, it was the safety of the people and the places that we were with. Also, we didn't want any connection with them as far as them helping us and what we was doing. Let's see. We're gonna pretty much kind of have a short one tonight, but I'm going to do the announcements real quick, and then we're going to start with what we're going to be talking about tonight. We will have at the end also, we're going to go over a couple of comments. You may have some questions, and we can answer the questions that we can answer. Is all we can really say right now. We're not trying to avoid any questions. We can put any rumor to rest if you like, or just we're going to kind of talk about certain things and get you to the point of the whole 2.5 months, or pretty much 2.5 months of being out in the field. The things that we did, we'll probably not discuss the places that we went to, but you may get the general idea. But it was to help a lot of people. And again, thank you to the sponsors who helped us along our path. We had one good, generous sponsor. We want to thank you for that. That got us through everything. And everyone else who helped us out, it was just enough, to get to where we got to go. Another full tank of gas, grocery store run. There was a lot of that too. Some of the duration places that we had to stay. We had to get food. Sometimes we didn't use our vehicles for as long as we couldn't, because we just didn't want to be exposed that much. But we ran into a lot of good people. We met a lot of good friends who helped us with everything that we needed. Everything worked out the way it should have, the way it's supposed to have, and we got back safely as well. Everyone is safe. With everyone who's involved in this. So the announcements are that we do have 2 Facebook group pages, the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, in parentheses, Antlers and surrounding areas. Also, the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman and Son Center and Database. That's both on Facebook, and woman is WOMBMAN in that second one. And we link this to that afterwards, because sometimes you're not going to find this on YouTube. It's hard to get sometimes. And also, you can see with the black screen, we haven't paid for the screen, the bonus thing. I think it's only like $27. It's just we're short right now. But that's up right there. It's a black screen around this. Once we get up internet, then we can use our computer. We still have to wait on that. Just certain things that we just used our money for gas, food, supplies, and to catch up and get some wood, keep the house warm for a while. We do have some things pretty much okay, so we're good there. Also, the DVD, the Bigfoot documentary DVD, $101 was the Cash App, $, capital Lead, capital Tracker, capital E. And that is the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas Bigfoot documentary. That documentary, and we're going to have some comments from some people who we did interviews with, and they're going to talk about that DVD. In the future, as soon as we can get our internet up, we haven't looked into the cost yet. But we wanted to get this up and let you know that we're back and that we're going to be working the best we can with this until we can get everything worked out. But everything will get worked out. And also that Cash App and everything is in the description as well. But we're back home now. I'm just going to go over some notes that I wrote down. But we're back home now, and as soon as we got back, we started doing our tracking. It was raining sometimes, but we still did our tracks. We want to make sure there's nothing around us. Luckily, there hasn't been much activity around our area. There were some crows that did show up, and we made sure that to make them leave as well. But we have a black cat that showed up last night and stayed in the light. It's off looking out into the darkness. There's some deer back here now, which that's only because we have the lights on, so they're back up here. But don't trust deer either. Deer is food. Bigfoots are around food, and if you got Bigfoots in that area, they're herding the deer. So those are deer herds. They're not just deer that's coming through your yard. So be very wary of deer also. We're back to finish our projects. If you seen the place when we walked in, you could tell this place was under construction because we still had some painting that we were doing. There was just projects that we were working on, and trying to get everything situated and done. So we didn't have to worry about things like that. But when we got the call, we dropped everything and we just, well, I guess you'd say hit the road. But we did find friends out there, new friends, and if you're watching this, and I hope you are, that you do know that we have a tight friendship. We got to go out to the field together. We tracked together. We drove around together. We looked at certain things. George, we're talking about you too. People showed us where other people had seen things. People has told us the right people to talk to about people seeing things and other people thinking that they're crazy or that is drug induced or alcohol related. But then we go there, we look for the tracks, the brakes, and things like that, all the signs. And then we assure them that they did see what they seen, even though they know what they seen. We just help to confirm that, yes, these things are around. So the last thing we left off with was the topic of there is no such thing as a Bigfoot expert. And that was the topic that we left off on. And we if you watched that last show, we named off many experts. We talked how just watching that DVD, more than any talk show host, any movie, any documentary out there. You know more than them already. So that would put you in an expert level over any of them. And that's just the DVD. That's not I think it was 178 videos that we've done with all this information that's compacted into that DVD. But even whenever we're not here, go back and watch that. Go keep training. Every segment is a training segment. We're not a channel for entertainment. We're here to help you, and to also what we teach. We're teaching our trackers, so that our trackers know exactly what we know, what we did when we was in the field, how we did certain things, so that they're safe out in the field, and they are, and we know they are, and they report back to us and let us know what's going on. And we've got a lot of information that we do need to share with you, and since we can get the internet up, we will do that, because then we can have different screens. People can we want them to tell you their story, And there's some things that you need to know about. We're going to talk about a few things also about some of our friends. Let's see. Okay, so we're also uh, also things to expect whenever you're out at in the field and you get tagged and people know you're in the area and you're looking for Bigfoots or you're helping somebody with a Bigfoot situation. Your phones will get tagged. And once this happens, and we try to tell people go black. No phones whatsoever, no YouTube, Messenger. We were using the Signal app, but a lot of people, for some reason, were having a problem with just getting the Signal app and then talking to us there. It was a big ordeal for some reason. And the next time we go out into the field, it's going to be with a different app and a different app and a different app. And sometimes we'll get a different app and then we'll say, okay, now we're going to switch over to this app. You know, we're going to keep it moving like that. But we do include the sponsors who are always there to help us. We want to make sure you know what's going on whenever we can share that information with you. But whenever you get ting like that, and it's going to happen, unless you're special forces unit, you're all trained the same. You've all been out in the field like that. It's only because you have civilian and a mixture in there that hasn't trained together. So if they haven't trained together, it's like some people say it's a math student playing the trombone, something like that, or a baseball player. I don't know, teaching the swimming team, something like that, or a basketball player teaching stickball, which I've heard people. But once that happens, and they got your kind of location like that, things are going to start happening. So we want you to be aware of these things. Also, if you do have a Bigfoot incident, or if you had to put one down, or if you've had a sighting, it's not advisable for you to call authorities or Forest Service people, because we've got many reports, many trackers, and we've got a lot of trackers here, so it's the same story. That they're going to come in, they're going to harass you. They're going to try to make you say it's a bear. They're going to try to make you say it's some other kind of predator. They just don't want you telling the truth. But you can also find those things in records, unless they only keep that just in case you do say something, then they bring it out. But otherwise, most times it's not on the county record. Something they just keep as kind of leverage, because they can put you in jail if you sign a false document, even though they're the ones who made you sign the false document. They didn't make your hand do that, but they intimidate you enough to do that. So be careful with that. Military will come in, special groups, not the regular Joes, not the guys that you and I went to the military with. Not those guys. It's these guys from overseas that don't know you. They're coming in, they're paid. Most of them are mercenaries. They're paid to come in, look like the military, come in, do the threatening. Law enforcement, game rangers, they'll get paid off. So now I'm just telling you what to expect, so you know this is going to happen. And we're going to have some also people who are going to be telling us a few stories. And of course, you're going to hear exactly what I'm telling you happened to them. So it's a cover up. It's always been that way. There are Bigfoots have been killed. There's all Bigfoots have been captured. There's many hybrids out there. All this stuff is going on, and
Assets.
yes, a lot of them are called assets. They do because people do profit off of Bigfoot's killing people for land, or the cars are there, land is there, especially if they're families or people that last generation or something like that. Um, Always be aware of things like that, landowners and things that are profitable. Some of these dogmen and things like that are called assets. And you're going to hear that from time to time. So also expect helicopters, expect military helicopters, but of course they're not the Joes like you and I went to the military with. They're not our neighbors. They're people you don't know. They'll be flying jets over you, airplanes, civilian helicopters, military helicopters, Hueys, Blackhawks, Scouts. Those will be coming in. Big jets, little jets, all hours of the night. So expect them in the evenings all the way through to daylight. In the daytime, expect vehicles. So know the vehicles in those areas. Mark them. Know what time certain vehicles come through. That way you're not caught unaware or being surveyed that closely without knowing who's there. Stay up at night when you're out in the field, and you can do this at home too, time to time. Stay up, go outside. So know that your area is secure before you do that, and see if there's any new vehicles. Every night. We were in some places where, like the last 2 nights we were there was new vehicles up in the mountains. You could see the reflectors, and it was chilly, so someone had turned their vehicles on, and you could see that little spark, and then you could eye them. So expect that during the day. Always have a plan for where you're going to go. Let people know what time you're going to be there and be there. You know how to move. We've trained you how to move. Half tank of gas. Change drivers. Keep moving. Don't eat at restaurants. Don't stay at hotels. Point A to point B. You're not there on vacation. You're there to help, either to help somebody or to get back to your place. Like I said, since we've been back, we've been getting our things ready here, clearing some land. Not land as far as with machinery or anything like that, but cleaning the yards, getting the sticks up. We didn't have propane or anything, so we had to use wood, which we have a lot of sticks, debris outside. We've been picking up and using that. So when these people do come, don't sign any papers. You can always stand with God. FaceTime. Get your live stream going. Especially whenever the authorities, you want some other kind of witness to know what they're going to say, because some of the things that they say, you would be like, oh, I wish I recorded something like that. You also have to understand that a lot of these people who work or have these assets, these dogman and Bigfoots and things, they're what you would call the reptilian race, and there's all different hybrids. These things are real. These people look so much like us, but you'll see their eyes. You'll see their eyes move. Watch their tongue. Just watch their facial movements. Look for different things. Look on their hands. See how they swallow. But and you have to know that those things are real. Demons are real. Know that everything that we're talking about is the truth. You will see it if you look for it. Also expect spiritual warfare while you're doing this. This is when your family is going to want to talk to you so bad. they're going to call you or try to call you day and night. They're going to get mad because you're not calling them. This is when someone from out of the blue, from the past, is going to call or try to get in contact with you. They've got a problem, or it's just something to distract you, to get you away from being focused on what you're doing. One thing that we talk about as warriors, that we have to say goodbye to each other. This is before you go out to the field. This is any day that you can talk to a loved one. Reminisce, that first time you met, those days you grew up together. But you also have to say goodbye, especially if you're doing something like this and going out to the field. You need to know that, some of these things are dangerous, but if you do them correctly, they're less dangerous, and you can come back safe every time. But we do have to say goodbye to each other. So we don't have that in the field. We can't be thinking about somebody else somewhere way out there in the city, flat or a house, or what are they doing? Not when we're in the field. When we're in the field, we have to focus on what we're doing. Those distractions can get not just that person harm, but some of the other team members, or if we were in that group like that. But your focused mind is going to either help your team or hurt it. So always remember that. Stay focused when you're out there. These are dangerous things, dangerous subjects. These are serious matters. So be very, very aware of what you're doing out there. Don't be distracted one bit. Soon we're going to be talking about some friends that we had a chance to spend a little time with. It's some friends I used to know, or I still know them, but we were visiting real fast because they were in the area. And nobody said anything about Bigfoot, and Tracker and he and myself were over there. And it was a cookout, and the whole community was there. And then so, they kind of talked about it. And we said, well, we're trackers, and we showed them a card and everything. And they knew me from a long time ago, so they know that, I talk the truth. And so once they knew that we're not ridiculing them, we're not snickering, they started coming forward. And even the children came forward, the elders, everyone came forward and wanted to tell us what was going on in their area. And we did do a track with them. We promised them that we'd do a track, we'd do a look around. And we did that for them. We gave them the confirmation, the information. And they have told us before they gave us the more of the details. They said that nobody goes into that forest anymore. Kids don't go in there. And if they do try to go in there, it's with 5 or 6 of them. If they don't stay long, they keep coming out. So that's where we went. We went into that forest, and we got some video and things like that of what we found in there. But like I said, unless you know what you're doing, don't be going out and just trying to see if you can find something, because we're not trying to find them. We're just tracking, see where they're going, where they have the most entry points, where they view the families the most, where to expect them. And then we give all that information to the families and to the neighborhood, to the community, so that they know what to look for, where they can put game cams up, and how to deter. And we always make sure we leave a DVD, even if the families can't afford it. We always leave a DVD with the community or with the heads or heads of the family, and we always just ask that they share that with the family and share that with the neighborhood. Get with their neighborhood so that they all are protected. But we're going to be talking about that one also. We're also going to be talking about a neighborhood that is pretty much under attack. There's been people knocked out four-wheelers. There's been people, the other neighbors are having problems with disturbances, and they're calling on some of our trackers to help them, which our trackers are there in those certain areas that are helping. Let's see. We got our other trackers that we just had an opportunity to do some live training with. They're also helping their neighbors now. Their neighbors know who to contact for questions and for help. We're going to talk a little bit about that also here in just a little bit. Also, the missing people. Let's not write them off as drug addicts or alcoholics or just trafficking. We need to know where they were taken. Were they taken into the woods? Let's track them. Let's find these people. Too many authorities will say trafficking, and they'll say that people went down, put them in a car, and left that way. But a lot of times, these creatures are taking people. They're coming out of the woods and grabbing people. And we got a story about that one also that's coming up soon. You're going to want to hear that one also. But we got to... okay, so LeadTrackerE and myself, we were with some other friends, some natives also. We got to share some information on Bigfoots and in their area, what we've seen and what we found. We were only there for a couple of days in this one area, and we got to spend it with a sponsor, with a friend now. They had offered us, I guess it was the floor. They said they had 1-bedroom apartment, so we said that's all we need. We just need a place to sleep, and they said, well, we know that you don't talk about when you're going to arrive or how you travel or what time you'll get here, so just know that the door is open, and the home is open whenever y'all get here. So we didn't tell them we didn't tell our friend what time we were showing up, and we didn't use GPS. We did our own mapping, and so we pull in. We think we're going too far. We pull into this little stop, and we call and we say, we can't find you. I think we went a little too far. And they said the name of the place that they were staying at, and we looked up, and we're parked at the sign of where we're supposed to be. So we just looked at those kind of leadings, as you say, that the table's prepared for you. You just have to get there, and it's there. So we trusted in the spirit and the faith all the way through this. So everything worked the way it was supposed to work. So whenever we had to depart from our friends there, because we only told them we was going to stay a week. We're just on a hold. We're just waiting for the first mission. But they knew exactly what was going on because we got to share with them there. They are a sponsor that helped us with lodging and food. And they gave us, I think, $40 in gas for whenever we left, which was a full tank. It was enough to get us to that next spot. Then we come to our other group, but there's a lot more that we're going to be talking about, but I just want to talk a little bit about this one. That we got back from our friends, and we told them that we're going to have to head out. And there's some other friends only two hours away, I think, but we didn't know that at that time, and we was looking for another place to where we're going to hold up because we didn't want to wear out our welcome. We didn't want to spend too long in any one place. We didn't want to be a burden on anybody. But while we were there, we wanted to track and show them things or to help them while we could. So we was getting ready for our next spot, and we're running low on places to go, and And we're getting to the point where, I mean, because, you know, we slept on couches, floors, cars, parks, um, places like that. And we was getting down to maybe just car and tenant, I guess, you know, but we don't like to tempt because unless they're in secure areas. But so we got a hold of some friends, and at that time we just knew of each other, and it was through this channel actually, and it was we had sent them a DVD of the documentary, and we were just communicating that way, and they were here talking with us on the channel, and so we was like, hey, this group's only like 2 hours away, and we thought about it and says, well, let's give them a call because you never know, it might be okay that we come up. So um, we gave our friends a call, and they said, well, yeah, come on up. We didn't know you was only 2 hours away. We thought you was in Oklahoma and everything. And we said, well, we can tell you more about, you know, we're real vague, you know, on what we was doing. And we didn't tell them what time. They kept saying, well, when can you show up? And we're like, uh, maybe early this week or late next week. You know, it was like, and so, but they knew we'd being vague, so they knew that something was up. So they let us know that they had a place and that we could tent up there at first. And we said that we don't tent because we know that you got 20-foot breaks up there, and we're not gonna be tenting around any 20-foot break in Bigfoot. So um, we're just about getting ready to head out, and uh, our friends call us again, and they tell us, hey, you know, this trailer, this little bitty trailer that they have that we could use that if we liked. And we said, hey, that's a lot better than a tent, you know. And they said small, but we said we could work with it. And but it was a great place. We got to start doing some live field work there. It was very good. First day we just sat down and talked and got to know each other, and talked about some stories, talked about some spirituality, um, and what we was doing there. And once they understood while we were there, um, it was more like whatever we can do to help you get this done. Um, we're here, and that to us that meant a lot, because we was even though we was going place to place and everything, we never unpacked. We was ready to go at all times, and this was the first place we unpacked. We knew that it was a safe place for us. We was going to have at least a couple of days. We was thinking probably a week that we'll be able to get regrouped. You know, let everybody know that hey, we got another week. No pressure on what we're doing. And so that relieved, you know, the other people too, and they were excited to know that we got a place and that we're good for at least a week, and that we'll stay in contact. And we did talk with some of our sponsors, let them know what we're doing. We actually got to have a conversation with some then, but we got to push back blinds, clear areas. We went up and shot shotguns on certain days, you know, just to let these creatures know that we do carry weapons and that we will always, you know, defend that area. And we got to the animals in the area. They were, when we first got there, you could tell that they were uh, tired looking, but you know, that they shouldn't be. But after we got through, and this is just like a little segment of it. But I mean, the dogs were like jumping and of course marking their territories. Now they had more area, they could see more distance, and they knew that they had also people more aware. And the homeowners, the owners, they're alerting with them. It's just a wonderful to see all this happen. And then we also explain to the people that once we leave, these creatures, these Bigfoots, they're going to come in and they're going to try to test you. They're going to just say, make it kind of think like, well, since they're gone, maybe we can come back in. So we did leave them with that information. And now it was one of their neighbors who had called them and let them know that a Bigfoot was knocking on their window and that it dropped to all fours and there was a dead tree in the back and it scurried up that dark tree into the forest. So they went over and laid some traps to get some tracks and see if it returned and everything. But also when you're laying those traps, rake all in one area and make sure you're looking at those ridges. Make sure every rake, it'll make a ridge. And then next morning, make sure that every ridge is still up because they can press down even, and it's hard to tell. But if you look for the ridges, that's going to tell you if there's been a foot because they can still go down real soft, but those ridges will decompress or get pressed down. So look for those ridges, and if you have to, go back out there and re-rake it, but rake it like you're doing art because you want to make
one direction.
In one direction because you want all those ridges coming straight down. So if anything compresses them, you're going to see those ridges compressed. So if you have to, go back out there and do that again. And that next day, just look for ridges because you can even see if a bird landed on them if you're looking for those ridges to go down. And right there in those rakes is where those ridges are. So just rake them all the same line. And every time you check, look for any of those ridges that are pressed down, and you'll see that. But they also left a voice, a mimicked voice that was caught because now this family, they've got lights up, they've got tripwires almost, they make MacGyver look like a beginner. You name it, they can make it. It was impressive to see them. A great family, and we're going to have more of that. As soon as we can get our internet up, you're going to hear these stories, and we want you to also hear from them. We do got some interviews that we're going to post soon, but we still have to get our internet up to do all that to make it very good for you. We do got a lot of recordings, a lot of visuals, a lot of thermals, night vision. We also want to share with you. But right now, we're on just the hours. We're not even on a package, and we can't even upload any video or any photos right now. So that voice that was left that they caught, and you can go to their page. It's under 10, like the number 10, I, and the word C, 1984. And you can see the audio for the first time that we got there. That's in like the first night or two, but you're going to hear all that audio from that first night. It's on there, and a few things but also that voice that we're talking about. And it's saying puppy, and it's like an ecstatic, happy kid, and then you hear a yell, then gunfire, and things like that. And a growl. So this also means that whenever we've been trying to, if you've watched the DVD, the Bigfoot documentary DVD, we talk about that in the warrior section whenever I'm talking about the fire, voices and things to listen for. But every voice or every subject has a voice. Every Bigfoot subject has a voice. So whenever a Bigfoot mimics something, it's got a subject. It's learning. It's learning how to talk like that subject or how to call that subject, to lure, to eat, to lure. So every subject has a voice, and every voice has a growl. You can hear that on that video also, there's a growl after the mimic. That's also letting you know that that call, that sound of that baby, that call for help, that cough, that name, your name, that has a demon, that has a Bigfoot, that has a predator, that has a vicious predator calling like a baby, like a call for help to lure you or to even use your name, to even call you by your own name. Be very wary about that. Um, like me, some people talk about the weapons that I carry. Don't worry about those. Those are for me. Those are not for anyone out there. If you're out there with me, I'm not bringing my weapons to protect you, especially if you're complaining about them. These weapons are protecting me. So I've seen other people, not be out there with any weapons, doing investigations or research, and they just don't know how close they are to these predators. How it don't take but just a second. And it depends on how hungry they are, or if they think that you're able to be taken, camping out there, getting far out there. There's still being people taken. There's still things happening. You can also go to Abnormal Investigations and look at their channel. They're reporting a lot of things, a lot of local things too. So don't think that these things are far away from you. They are in every place that we checked, every place that we went out. And just even going from state to state and town to town, we've seen blind structures all over the place. So don't think that they're not in your area either. The DVD, the Bigfoot documentary, if you can, get that DVD as quickly as possible. You can order it through the Cash App. That's $ capital Lead, capital Tracker, capital E. That's all in one. That's right here on the top right here. It has saved lives. It will save your life. You can even order it, and if you want us to send it to somebody else, just order it. We'll send it to whoever you want us to send to, whoever needs it. And we will be getting back to getting some information from some new people. If they have encounters and things going on right now, we want to help with that. The place that we just left, when we first got there, there was more signs of Bigfoots in that area, and large ones that we've seen in a lot of places, and we did a lot of tracking there. And but we're gonna have that family come on and talk about that as soon as we can get the internet up. But I also want to real quickly, if we can, if anybody knows Mary Stroughton, she had some dog men trying to get into her home. She couldn't afford the DVD, so I believe it was Jeanette. She sent the money. We sent that to her overnight the next day. And Mary, we did receive your $10 check. We wanted you to know that we received it, and we thank you for that. You don't have to send that, but we are appreciated of that, because it does come in handy. But that was a gift for you from Danette and from us. But we know, just like us, we're using wood, so we know. Make sure you got enough food. Make sure you got your bills on, and stay warm. Be safe out there, Mary. So I think that's it for tonight. There's a lot coming up, but I just wanted to touch base with you, let our trackers know that we will be getting back, and we are back into more training. We got some stories that you need to hear, because this will affect you, whether it's now or later. But you're going to need to have this information. So also, it's going to be back in two nights. Today's Tuesday the 29th, 30th. Is there 31 days this month? So Tuesday, which could either be December the 1st or it's going to be November 31st. No, I think it's December 1st. But I'm going to check a few of the comments and then we're going to have a word and then we'll close up until Tuesday night. And we're going to start having them at 5 o'clock if this works for you. If this works for our trackers also, because I don't want to be on air talking with one of our trackers or talking to somebody who may be having a occurrence right now. And I don't want them talking loud at 7, 8 o'clock at night whenever they need to be paying attention to what's going on outside. So we moved it to 5:05 is the time that we're going to move to. If you know anybody who wants to actually Thursday, Scott, which is in 2 days. I'm sorry. But we're going to go over a couple of comments. Would you like to do it? She said, I've been cleaning all day. Okay, so we're going to go over a few comments and then we're going to wrap it up for the night. And this was just to let you know what's been going on, that we're back. We've got a lot of things to cover, a lot of things to share. I need to get the internet up somehow. That way I can put those pictures and videos up that we want you to see. Also, LeadTrackerE on YouTube has some video up, and we will be posting on our Facebook group pages. Oklahoma Bigfoot Prepare to Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas in parentheses, and Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WMBMAN, and Sun Center Database, both on Facebook. So, Mr. Bean says, been waiting, watching, and praying for you guys here from Indiana. Well, Mr. L, we do appreciate that more than you know. There's a lot of people doing the same thing, giving us some prayers. We did need them. But as you can see, your prayers worked. We're back home safe. Everybody's home. Everybody's safe. We still are on a wait on one mission. But besides that, everyone is home safe. And we want to thank you again, Mr. L, for those prayers. Tennessee says, come on, internet. Charles. Hey, Charles. Great guy. Charles on here. Tennessee, all those men. And I say that men. I don't say guys. They're men. And Charles says, Holly told to my friends and warriors. Holly told Charles. Tennessee says, hello, Huckleberry. And Charles says, Brother Tennessee, good to see you here. Is it quiet up there in those hills and hollers? And Tennessee says, nice rain. The wood gang has pushed back. So nice and chill here. Nothing hot. Good. That means the Bigfoots have been pushed back there, Charles. So Charles says, great to hear. He says, excited that Joe are home and safe. Oh, J and E are home and safe. Been a long journey. We're sitting on the edge of our chairs. Okay. Yeah, I do want to get up with y'all on that subject of that live training with you, Tennessee, and TrackerE. Charles, the same here, brother. I can't wait to hear all about y'all's journey up there, and we will get to that, Charles. We just need to get our internet to where and pay for the package here, so that we can have multiple screens, and that they can talk and tell you personally or it's just going to be coming from me. Um, and Judy says, hello, Jerry. Hello, Judy Wheeler. How are you doing? And she also says, hello, Charles. Pyromaniac. Pyromedic. Pyromedic, also a good friend. He kept up with us. He tracked us down. And we're glad, and we talked, and I'm glad you did do that, Pyromedic. That does mean a lot, that you were checking up on us and that talk that we had about some things going on in your area. Pyromedic says, Charles, I owe you an apology. I saw on YouTube again where in an interview with Val Kilmer himself that he did not say, I'm your Huckleberry. uh, Judy says, glad to see you, Pyro or Charles. And Pyro says, hello, Judy. That's where now Judy says, hello, Pyro. Charles says, hello, Brother Warrior, Jerry at LeadTrackerE. And we both say hello. And then Charles says, Joe Blow says, long time no see. And we say, hello, Joe. Danette says, hello. Charles says, check your toilet bowls for a leaking tank flap. His sister had that problem. Okay, we'll check on that. But also the water thing, because we're watching the numbers, they haven't moved. So I think the water department may have just jacked our price up for some reason. We're going to talk with them tomorrow. But we haven't had any leaks or anything. But we did have to leave the field. But there was a lot calling us home. There was a lot of signs that we were just trying to push through the side to stay a little bit longer in the field for our friends. And we did. We stayed to as long as we could possibly stay. That will still pan out. But at least no one has pressure right now. And at least our water pressure is working. Carla Hipkins. Carla, thank you for the support that you gave us. It really did mean a lot, and it came at the right time. I guarantee it, because we was like, this will get us that gas. This will get us that the next meal and everything. And we were buying from stores. We weren't fast food, unless we were on the road, but mostly we was trying to cook and save as much money as what we could, because we didn't want our sponsors to think we were living it up or taking an easy road. But we stayed as low key, and if you were in some of those small cheap hotels that we were, you would know. You would know we roughed it. We there was no sweets for us. Yeah, the term Roach Motel comes from some of the places we were in. Great Babe says, good to see you. Don't know how long I can stay. The wind is wicked. High winds usually lost electricity and or internet. Also, Great Babe. That also is one thing I want to point out too, because people were showing me these other channels of Bigfoot topics, and what do you think about this person? What do you think about that person? And some I've never heard of before. And then when I watch your channels, I'm like, well, these guys are going to get people hurt, if not themselves. But there was one, I remember Todd Standing, he had a person out with him, and it started to rain, and then he goes, well, it's starting to rain, so the Bigfoot should be in too, and that kind of thing. That's when they hunt. That's when some of the best times for them to hunt. Rainstorms, thunderstorms. And another group, which made no sense to me either, said, well, there's a hurricane, so the Bigfoots will be indoors or How many missing people? How many missing bodies? How many bodies are found? If they check for the blood, it's not going to be there. But how many missing people show up during these catastrophes? These are perfect times for these things to be hunting. Rainstorms, thunderstorms, lightning storms, hurricanes, tornadoes. They're going to be out hunting. Towns get wiped out, houses, homes, churches. So when they get wiped out, there's missing bodies. So paramedics said our water department raises our rates without telling us. Sometimes they said it posted in their meeting. They're all crooked, I'd say, because we didn't use a drop and we got double our rate. And everybody knows we were gone about 2.5 months, so it stayed the same. It went up the next month $1 and something. Then it went up $20-something, I think. So we'll be talking with them tomorrow also. Iron Horse says good vibes. Hey, Iron Horse, glad to hear from you. BK, Amy Deponia, is it Cray? Crackling Forever YP. Amy says for everyone else. I don't know if that was for the music or it could be the station too. When you don't pay the bills, they make you get glitchy. Sometimes the screen will go dark. You'll be crackling. The volume goes in and out. It's kind of like if you don't pay for the basic thing that you get the like if you're using your GPS and you put no tolls, and then they put you on that go path. It's that kind of thing. So, and we've been on those. So you don't want to take the toll road, okay?
Thank Angel too.
Oh, also Angel. We want to thank you also. She's one of our sponsors, and you helped us out right at that same time, and all that went on food and came at the right time. We needed to stay a little bit longer, and that donation that was needed, and at the right time. And I guess the audio was kind of bad. I didn't get to see that. I wasn't reading the comments while I was discussing. Tennessee says, glad to see our soul brother and sister. All right. It's always glad, and we're going to have you on soon. We want to talk with y'all and do some check-ins with you also. And Judy Wheeler's got a happy faces and prayers. All right. Carla Hipkins says, glad to know you're back home. Us too. A lot of work, but we're glad to be home. We're glad to be back here so we can start getting back to what we're doing, helping and training people. We need everybody trained with all this information. Pyro said he loved LS pop-up book. And those are from like some of the people who are sponsors and the people that we were in contact with while we're in the field. Ella made a birthday pop-up book for her grandson, and you should have seen it. And that is on her page, I believe. You may still be able to catch it. I'm not sure if it's private or not, but it may be on her page, LeadTrackerE on YouTube. It's one of a kind. You'd have to see it too. There's also a video up too. Tennessee says, don't have a phone for a reason. That's right. Scott says, so good to see you. Good to see you, Scott. Judy says, thank you, Jerry. Judy Wheeler says, a third, and a third equals their DNA. It's a good point. Now, well, third and third and third. Third man, third God, third beast. Is their DNA. Judy Miller, Wisdom People, yeah, we worry about them, and if we can get information like this out to the young ones so that they're not just walking down the old dirt roads like we used to do, It was a safer time. Now, if you look around, there's no animals, there's no snakes. Um, the deer, they're only around to think that you're safe. You remember that normally was never the case, but they'd rather take their chances with you than with these beasts. So pay attention to those animals. Learn that bird language, which is in the DVD also. Angel says, glad you're both back, eager to hear your stories and insights. Much love. And we will get to a lot of that. But tonight, like I was saying, it's just the kind of the welcome back, letting you know we're back, and that we're going to be starting our streams back up and sharing all that information. We shared a lot tonight, but we still have a lot to share with you. We want y'all safer. More techniques that you need to know. We'll go over those also. Great Bape said, while you were gone, they killed an Amazon driver in our greater metro area, 45 minutes. That's bird flies from me. Exeter Springs, Missouri. These things are everywhere, Great Bape. And I wish people would pay attention, learn as much as you can. Go over and watch those 170 something videos or buy this DVD. Watch it, learn it, go over it a couple times. Don't think you're going to grasp it all at one time. Then share it with somebody, get them to understand, get them and help them. Then get your neighbors together, get whoever will listen to you, because these things, they rely on people not knowing. They rely on people who know everything. They rely on people who don't care. And if the people don't care if they're out there or not, these things are running around their backyard or using their yard to watch the kids in the next yard. So you got to get with the people. You got to know what's going on. Judy's got a smile. Mr. L says, yes, Great Babe, I tried to communicate with many different people about the facts, about the driver. So many people still believe it was just dogs that got the driver. Oh. And Angel Isaac says, you're welcome, my friends. You helped me tremendously. Thank you. Anytime you need to talk with us, you just let us know, Angel. And also, we want to also ask you if we could do some call-ins on your property, things that you're going through now, and how you've worked your situation out and what you're doing to better your area. And Charles says, Jerry, I believe that I sponsored y'all too, or did I? Yes, Charles, you did. Because you did pay for that DVD, and then you still sent more support.
Plus his prayers
and
encouragement.
And just like TrackerE saying, it wasn't just the extra money. It was the prayers that you sent. It was the conversations that we had. It was even being that warrior brotherhood of hearing you talk. Like what we're doing and where we're at. That meant a lot. And it's always good to hear from another warrior out there that says, anytime you need me, just let me know, or if I can get there, let's. And also, we still need to have that meet, Charles. So we're back. No plans on going anywhere, I don't think. We just need to get back to training and helping people this way. And but you never know if we get calls or not. If we get calls in the middle of the night, if we have to go, we got to go. If we get calls during the day, we got to go. But we're trying to stay around the house more. We've got a lot that we've got to do. We've got yard work. We've got get ready for winter. Winter's not really here yet. Usually in January, that's when it sets in. January, February gets a little cold. So we need to get ahead of that. Before it gets here. Let's see. Denise Dale says, hello, first time viewer here. Angel told me about you. Well, hello, Denise. Denise Dale. And thank you, Angel. for the recommendation. And Judy says hello also. But it seems like we're good for tonight. Like I said, we just wanted to let you know that we're back. Also, that the DVD, you do need to get this DVD, whoever needs it. There's a Cash App right there on the screen. It's also in the description. $ lead tracker. $ capital lead, capital tracker, capital E. That's all in one Cash App icon or thing like that. But we'll be back in 2 days. We're getting back on schedule. We're gonna close with the prayer, and because you do know this is a spiritual war, as well as we do, and you got to be. Once you put your armor on, you keep it on. You don't take it off. Every day you walk that same walk. So I'm going to ask TrackerE to give us a word, and then we'll close up. And I'll finish that comment too.
Thank you, Lord, for safe travels, for keeping our trackers safe, for those who are your hands and feet. Thank you for keeping our homes safe. Thank you for friends who came to our aid and to our defense. Thank you for Katie's healing. We pray for her surgery. We pray for Charles' wife who's recovering from surgery. We thank you for protection for all the trackers and all the truthers, and we just thank you for being with us in exposing the darkness, and just thank you for your blessings. Thank you for every person on this channel, and just thank you, Lord. Thank you.
You're not alone out there. We're all in this together. God's in it with you. Jesus is there. You've got angels on your back. Don't worry about it. Keep going forward. I think we got one more from Tennessee. He says, I did a few videos while you was here. Due to your confidential operation, we could not tell your location of the time. Example, screw in the slug hole and much more. And now you can.
You can talk as much as you want.
Now you can talk as much as you want.
Except about the main thing.
Yeah, except for everything we can't talk about. You can talk about everything,
Everything
we
else, all
can't
you
talk
want.
about. Charles says, amen. See you Thursday, my friends. We'll see you Thursday. Mr. L says, welcome, Denise. You will be glad you found this channel, Divine Info, not some old or wrong track. Thank you, Mr. L. Tennessee says, amen. Yui, Flat Rock. Denise says, thank you, Mr. L. Okay, so we're going to
thank y'all for your patience very much.
Yeah, we do appreciate you. Appreciate everyone for staying with the channel, not unsubscribing, and just taking our word that we're going to be back, and taking other people's word that we're doing exactly what we said we were doing. And everybody who knows us knows that that's exactly what we did. And so I'm going to finish with this song again. It was going to be a different song, except I couldn't find my phone a while ago. So, but it's the same thing.
It's on your channel too.
Do you say?
I think you shared it on your channel, and it's on the other channel.
Okay, it's a spiritual channel that's also on the my channel on YouTube and on the Oklahoma Bigfoot Prayer to Watch. It's under Spiritual Warriors. You are not alone, or we are not alone. So this song, it's the first one that we started off with. It's going to be for everyone. The people who gave us well wishes, people who gave us the prayers, our sponsors who helped us. Trust us, every penny went to everything that we needed. So much to the penny that we were using wood when we got back. So
it's perfect.
It worked out perfect. So this is for all of y'all. And this is also to our the new people who's subscribed and came on. We got a lot more information that we share with our trackers, but you will get that information also. But we just want to tell you thank you to all of our friends who were there for us. and knew that we couldn't tell them exactly until later, but they just trusted us enough to send what we needed, and we just want to thank you.
God bless you.
Thank y'all, everybody. It meant a lot. Just knowing you were out there, we didn't worry about a thing. We just kept going. That's what we said. We just got to keep moving. We just got to keep going forward. Our friends will be there. Don't worry about that. And we relied on that. We trusted in that. Faith was there. Spirituality was there. We didn't fail. Nobody failed. Everybody came home safe. So we're going to see y'all again in 2 nights. Thursday night, 5:05. We want everybody to make sure that they're secure in their home and not packing out, because some people will be in active areas, and we want to think of their safety. So we're going to have this at 5:05 so everyone can be home safe and secure in their threshold. Let's see everybody. Everybody have a good night.